2, 1, yeah, that's a knockout. They call me kamikaze, put you in heaven's lobby. On gas, no brakes, you can never stop me. Nah, no, you can never stop me. Yeah, cause I'm the powerslap king.
Slap Son, baby! All right, everybody. Welcome to Slap Son. The weekend was nuts. It was nuts. It was crazy. And I'm not just talking about Hawaiians, man. It was so crazy and fun. Let's talk about the weekend, what led up to it, some of the things that happened. And then after that, I want to give you a quick update on the pod, where we're going, things of that nature. So, like in December, we wanted to do Sweet Talks again. So about 2 months prior to the event, 2 months, what am I talking about? Before the event happened, I don't remember the date. We booked the hotel room at the Circa. We booked the rooms at Fontainebleau. So when we transfer over, it's all ready to go. There's nothing to worry about that way with rooms. Speaking of nothing to worry about, let's get this protein in so we have nothing to worry about meal-wise. In one take? Okay. Meal on the go, suckers! Okay. Booked the rooms. Oh, my eyes wide a little bit. I'm so passionate about slap. We had learned a few things from the first Sweet Talks we did. So, man, I really am crying. I have such passion. The biggest thing we learned was, okay, we got to be able to edit on the fly so we can go quicker and put things out faster. So after everyone was finished, we already had a head start as far as editing goes. Very good thing we learned before. People came through like they did last time. It was so much fun. I swear, every time I see everyone in person, it's just it's exciting to me, man. Especially for the first time. You know, we speak on the podcast and we get to know each other in that way, in that regard. But there's nothing like interviewing in person and seeing people live in person. So much fun. I always put my arms up for some reason and just go, "You're real. You're here." And to talk with everyone in person, to get to know them a little bit that way in real life, IRL, as they say, is so much fun. It never disappoints. Everyone was so nice, so gracious. And we did about, man, I want to say 20 or 21 interviews in total. We almost got everybody on the card. I know Chelsea, Robert, if you guys are watching this, I apologize. We had some technical difficulties. Pono called on God himself to blow up the room. And when you guys came up to the suite, you know, we were kind of in limbo a little bit that way, but we'll get you next time. I appreciate you. I see you. Can't wait to talk again, and can't wait to talk to you, Robert, for the first time. It'll be great. So anyway, arrive Tuesday in Las Vegas, get set up at the Circa, start rolling through interviews, right? Having a good time, doing our thing. And then we also did it on, sorry, man, doing this live is kind of interesting, right? So Tuesday we started it up. Wednesday we kind of finished it out, and probably it was weird. Like, it wasn't a surprise, but one of the funner things was obviously interviewing Paige Van Zandt. She's a big name in the sport, but it's the backstory that is actually really fun on how we actually landed that interview. So I saw on a few interviews with Austin after his UFC fight that they were looking for a Paige Van Zandt one-of-ones on the powerslap cards. So I had actually a Paige one-of-one card. And so I reached out to their manager and I just said, hey, love to have Paige on the podcast to interview her for her upcoming match against Mikey. And we were going back and forth a little bit, but I gotta be honest. I feel like the card sealed the deal. So I offered up the card, wanted to surprise Paige and Austin, and texting back and forth with their manager. He was excited. Didn't want it to get out of the bag, so we all kept it as a secret. We didn't tell Austin. I guess Paige found out that same day. But anyway, because of that, I really feel like that sealed the deal, and it was so surreal to have followed somebody their whole career and then their partner as well for their career, from the LFAs to the Bellators, fighting for the title there, things like that. And then you're talking with their manager and you've got something that they will cherish forever. And that's one of the things that I loved about the slap cards is whenever I got a 1-of-1, I sent it to the strikers. So it wasn't anything new. I feel like it's their rookie card. They should have it. So that was what I was doing. So when we landed that and I reached out and we were messaging back and forth, I got the audio message, hey, I'm going to put you on the media list. And it was so cool. I was like, whoa, this is happening. This is actually happening, right? Had to keep it close to the vest still a little bit with the card. Didn't want the cat to get out of the bag. So anyway, our very first interview, when we landed Tuesday, we got set up. They had to come a little bit earlier, so we had to scramble. We had to convince the hotel to let us in our room earlier. They kept saying no, and I finally just looked at them like, you better let me up there, man. Like, this is going down. I got an interview to do. So we get the room. They listen to us. We get all set up, everything. And next thing you know, manager comes in and they're like, he's saying, okay, they're on their way. They're coming up. So do you have the card? Do you have the card? And I'm like, yeah, I got it. I got it. And knock at the door, open it. Motherfucker, there's Paige Van Zandt and Austin Vanderford. Like, what the hell? Like, what is life? I was dapping up guys all day, so I didn't know what to do with Paige. I did an awkward dap hug. I don't even know what it was. And then Austin goes, oh, hey, man, I'll dap you up. And so we did, it was much easier. So we get in, do a quick Instagram story that we're live, we're about to go, interviews are kicking off, and we sit down, we do the interview, and then at the end, we were able to say, hey, I've seen all this whatnot stuff, putting up bounties for these cards, things like that. And I just say, if it's cool, we can have Austin come over. And Austin came over, sat down, and I was able to pull out the card out of my pocket, give it to him. And the reaction was so worth it. It was so much fun. Everybody was just smiling and laughing. And Austin was so gracious, man. Just saying how that's something they can pass down to their kids and things like that. And it couldn't have gone better. I told their manager and Austin and Paige, all of them, core memory, very cool. They were so nice. And it was such a great way to kick off the whole interview experience again. We just talked for a minute after, then they had to go do some more obligations and that. But shout out to the whole team there, Primo, Austin and Paige. That was so much fun for me. And I'm sure you guys know that, but what a way to kick off the interviews. And so they take off. And then right after that, Aaron, the Colossus, the Tower of Power, as I call him, Turner shows up, and we just started rolling, man. Just one after the other, and I got to meet so many people for the first time. Shout out to Steve Osongo, hooked us up with some guest passes so we could see those early prelim fights. That was much love, brother. That was awesome. To be in that arena and just there wasn't a lot of people, so you could hear everything. You could hear the slaps. You could hear the people talking. You could hear just the refs talking back and forth at a normal tone. So freaking cool. So cool. It's funny. Near the end, I had people come up to me and ask me if I was part of the media. And I said, oh, no, we have guest passes. And they said, oh, really? From who? And so I tell them, and then they ask, well, did he already go? Or is he about to go? And I think they were like testing me or something. And I said, oh, no, Steve already went. And they go, okay, you're okay. You can stay. So we got to stay and see all that. Such a cool experience. And to know that you're a part of the world in moments like that, like, oh, I got guest passes, things like that, to be part of this fight world, this slap game, is so cool and so validating. Like, obviously there's competition in all things of life. I'm a competitive person for sure. But when it all comes back down to, for me, is I'm just having the time of my life, man. I'm having so much fucking fun. Like, I can say it over and over, but it's real. Like, I'm just having so much fun and meeting everybody, getting to know the sport, helping grow the sport it's fun, man. It's just fun. Like, and anyone out there who wants to start a podcast or a YouTube channel or whatever, just do it. Just do it. What are you waiting for? No one's going to watch it, right? Just get out there, have fun, make some memories, create some content that's cool. What else? So we went to interview started on Tuesday. Went all day, man, all day. And forgive me, I can't remember if Pono. We were interviewing Pono. I think it was the first day. Interviewing Pono and Wes and Crazy. They were all up in there. And then we had the greatest conversation, Pono and I. I mean, I got emotional. He started talking about his daughter, which made me think about my boys and them growing up. And, it really was like this moment. And next thing you know, the battery or something crashes on the camera and it didn't get any of it. It didn't get any of it, son. Like the best interview, and it just crashes. And we were just laughing because what can you do? So we're just laughing, and I told Pono, I said, man, that was the world telling us that interview was just for you and I. No one else can see or hear that interview. It was just for you and I. Very, very cool, man. And it took a bit to get set back up, but we did, and we continued on. Getting to hear everybody's goals, their ambitions. I mean, how people get involved in the sport is there's just so many different facets to it. Like, okay, of course, there's people that have heard about it and they want to get into it, but a lot of these strikers, they kind of stumbled upon it, or they might have seen clips of it here and there, and they were intrigued, and then next thing you know, they're on the roster, and then they get this challenge in front of them. Okay, do I take this serious or not? Is this going to be? Am I going to pursue this, or is this like a bucket list check item, things like that? And you get to hear that, and you get to see them tell you, and you get to feel their energy when they tell you, and to be a part of that and see that, and know that this is really life changing for a lot of people is so cool. They really are. The sport's weird, right? It's a niche and it's unique and it's in your face, no pun intended. And I get that it can be a turnoff, but at the end of the day, these are humans chasing a dream, the ones that want to, and they take it serious. And it's something that a lot of them didn't see coming into their life, but it's here and they're all about it. You know what I mean? I'll never forget Chelsea talking about, I'm about this life. I'm about this life. And the more this sport grows, the more we get that attitude. And it's so good for the sport because the more serious you take it, the more it will grow and progress as something that's not just this weird TikTok spectacle. And, my dog's in the background. Very cool. Very cool. And the next day was similar. We had people that maybe weren't on the card, but they wanted to get their name out. They came out, you know what I mean? And we did another round of interviews. So much fun. Gosh, man, there's just so many stories. When I was just saying the next round of interviews, I had this thought in my head where some people came up, you know what I mean? They were supposed to be interviewed, and it's Vegas, you know what I mean? And they were having a good time, and they asked very professionally, "Oh, I don't want to go on camera right now." And guess what? They didn't go on camera. We're not about that. It's slap certain. We're gonna put you on the best light as possible. But just hanging with the boys up in the room, chilling, laughing, having a good time. Like, fam, this is cool. This is fun for me. This is great. I can't even tell you. Like, it's so surreal for me to be in this fight world and just know that I really view so many of these strikers as friends of mine, and that's going to be hard as we grow and the sport grows, and the spotlight is a little bit hotter, and people's feelings might get involved, and there's more sensitivity, things like that. But for right now, there's not lots of. It's just powerslap has the best camaraderie. It really does. Right now in the sport, there really isn't a lot of beef, and because of that, we can all sit around and hang. We can all sit around and laugh and have a good time. Maybe go see what's in the clouds a little bit. And I love every second of it. It's so much fun. So Tuesday we had interviews. Wednesday we had interviews. Oh, and I got to tell you, so we were interviewing Mikey, and the interview's over. We're sitting around talking. I think she was the last one of the day, and she started mentioning that she liked Theo Vaughn, she liked comedy, things like that. And so we put the cameras all back together and did this thing where she could shout out the year of wife for Theo Vaughn, and she joked that it was year of husband for her. That was cool, just to sort of do it on the fly and put it out there. Um, man, I got Steve Songo. Steve, what's up, dude? Um, he's one of the few people on this earth, and I'm one of the few people as well that actually enjoy the movie Stomp the Yard. So shout out there. Um, Shout out to everybody who came by. Um, excuse me. So just fun little tidbits here and there. It's funny. I'm going through my head. I'm trying to remember all these little quirky things. Um, but those 2 days were great. They were long. They didn't feel long. Um, there was a lot of activity. Didn't feel like a lot of activity. Anyway, Tuesday and Wednesday were great. We powered through it. We had a great time. Got to know a lot of people, and then it's inching closer and closer to the actual fight card. Right? We went to try and get into weigh-ins on Thursday, but we just kind of hung out in the hallway. Like I said, we don't have access to that yet. But just it's so I just got to emphasize it's so cool to just be a part of Fight Week. Like, okay, sure we didn't get in here, or sure we didn't get to interview everybody, but you're still a part of that community. You're still a part of Fight Week, which is it's the best. It's the best. So let's get to the card. The card was crazy. So many good rounds. There wasn't so on the last card, it was like knockout after knockout after knockout, right? And so the card seemed like 20 minutes long. And this one, it wasn't knockout after knockout after knockout, but there's a lot of wars going back and forth. We had Brandon and Isaiah fighting for that title. Isaiah defending once again. I mean, talk about an active champion. Talk about somebody who's willing to defend and get up there over and over. I mean, that's Isaiah through and through, man. The guy is the heart of a champion for sure. And that was the main event. Brandon ended up stumbling Isaiah. They called the fight. Brandon's super emotional. I mean, you could just, he literally drops to his knees and he's putting his arms up and getting that belt, putting it around the strap on his shoulder. Very cool moment to be a part of. He worked really hard for it. He talks about in our interview that's coming out next week how he just put everything on hold and he just focused on that match. And it paid off. It's the fight game. I personally want to see it run back for the trilogy. That's what I want to see. I think Isaiah deserves that for how active he was last year and for how quickly he tore through that division. Look, in this game, if someone finds the button, they find the button. There's not much you can do about it, right? So I think Isaiah deserves it, and I think Brandon deserves it. Look, he put in all this hard work, and now he has that target on his back. He's got the belt, and he wants to prove to people that it wasn't a fluke, that it was a real thing that happened. And so I think that's the next matchup for those two is to have a trilogy. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on. Um, Obviously, we had the inaugural lightweight belt go on with Robert and Dakota. Man, I got to be honest. I that was a pick 'em for me. I really didn't have a favorite in that one, and to see Robert though pull it off, I mean, it's hard because you get to know these people, and you really are pulling for all of them. But at the end of the day, there's a winner and there's a loser. And Robert, well deserved. It really was well deserved. He's been waiting for his shot. He's been promised his belt for a little while that it was going to happen, and when that opportunity showed up, um, he conquered. He won. I'm gonna shut this door. Real life people. The dog is just having a heyday, and we need to shut a door. So hang tight. Okay, we are back. Yeah, Robert. So well deserved. He already called out. He's already gunning for that champ status, which was cool to see in the post fight interview. But I think he'll be in this division for a little bit before they give him that shot. But just cool to see the energy. He's already thinking forward. Hey, I got this. I want another one. And who doesn't like seeing that in a fighter? To just the attitude, the brassness, just the sheer fucking confidence to be like, okay, I got this one. Now let's move on to the next. So that was fun to see. Dakota, heart goes out to him. Heart of a warrior, man, for real. At the weigh-ins, he just stands up there and flexes, and he's like, McGregor's here. McGregor's here. How can you not like that? Like, the energy of it all is insane. I just dig it. What else we got? Oh, bro. Pono and Dorian. Wow. I talked to both of them before their match and with both of them after their match. And dude, it's the fight game. Like, Dorian put his chin on alert. The man's got a chin. You can't deny it. And Pono put his heart out there on the line, right? He's had a few, opinions as far as like clubbing, things like that. But the heart of it all, he's just worried about safety, right? Like eyeballs and views, things like that. They're huge. And I interviewed Pono just yesterday, and it's coming out next week. The reaction podcast to Power Slap 12 is coming out next week. The reason being is I wanted to sit down with as many as I could individually and walk through their matches. So it just takes a bit of time to put all that together. So it's going to come out next week. So some of this is a little foreshadowing, but I think the interview with Pono was really good. He just is looking out for the safety of the fighters, and you win some, you lose some, and it's just about how you get back up and keep moving. Hell of a match. I wouldn't mind seeing that again personally, but we'll see what they say. We'll see what they say. Dorian, shit, man, proved himself again, and credit where credit's due. Now he's just waiting for that next opponent. You know what I mean? And that's very cool. Moving on down, we had Paige and Mikey. So again, round for round. I know Mikey was getting a little bit of better training for this one. Her first match was, for all intents and purposes, a surprise. And she has an MMA background. So she thought that, oh, yeah, I can do this. I can slap. And, but you get up there and you find out there's a nuance to it. It's a little different. So for this round, she trained a little bit better, more specifically for the slap. And she showed out, man. Look, she didn't get knocked out. She did her thing. And I know the power slap community and the audience there, her following grew tremendously. I think it was joking in our interview. If you go back and look at her sweet talks, I joked with her when we first talked, like, you're, a smaller following, and I think you're up to like 4,000 or something. I can't remember what I said, but like single digit thousands. And she goes, oh no, I'm at 18. I was like, what the hell? So I go grab my phone and look, and there's all the proof you need. She gained a following quickly. People want to watch that journey, and that journey can continue because she didn't get knocked out, nothing like that. And she's ready to go for another round. So very cool to see that. And then, of course, Paige gets up there, does her thing, wins the bout, professional through and through. I didn't see a lot of damage on either side, so we might see her sooner than later, which would be fun. And it was cool also to see in the post-fight press conference, Diana asked her, should the belt be pink? And I thought that was great. And she goes, oh, I would love that. I would love that. And it just shows that the women's division is growing. We need more, obviously, but the women's division is here. They're putting on great fights, and it was fun to watch that bout between those two. Man, obviously Paige has more experience, years more of experience than Mikey does, but man, you just never know. But she pulled through. She got it. She got the W, and fantastic way to prove herself once again on the third match. So moving on down, what do we got, guys? What do we got, fam? Oh man. Ke'ali'i Konokoa, the chief. Dear me. Clean slap, hell of a knockout. And then I learned just today, that when he's kicking up his foot and grabs something out of the air and throws it down, he's actually kicking up a spear, grabbing it and throwing it down. It's just a part of his culture, and he was explaining that to me. And I wish I had known that before, because we didn't edit with him where he's grabbing like a fireball, like anime shit, and threw it down, which was so cool. And Wesley, look, man, all the smoke is real, dude. Nobody gets up there and does that and isn't called a man. Like, you're a man, bro. You showed out, and I don't care what anyone says. You're a professional. You took the L like a professional would. And yeah, man. Yeah. Just all love from us to you. And then let's think, man. You got to talk about Aaron Turner and Wes. You know what I mean? Wes, what a dog. What a dog. I mean, what a dog, dude. Like, Aaron is this giant of a human being, and he took every slap. There was a flinch that Aaron admits, he wish he wouldn't have done that. That's not what he's about. Aaron doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to have the potential of someone breaking their hand, things like that. Very professional, very humble guy. And Wes, he took those flinching like a professional as well. Look, his hand didn't break, and it could have, and he could have showed out to the ref and made a complaint here or there and made a big deal about it, and he didn't. And those boys just got up there and did their thing. And look, it went Wes's way. Um, and the energy he brought, I mean, damn, like good for him. I know he trained so hard. I mean, if you guys know Wes, it's a couple of things. It's brick to face and it's locked in. And motherfucker was locked in and he took a brick to a face and he got the W, which is huge. He moved up in the rankings. Shit, man, I need to look, but I think he might be ranked number 3, something like that now. And Aaron, nobody is looking the other way when it comes to Aaron as well, in my opinion. I think it's just one of those nights, it's the fight game. And I think he'll be back soon as well. Crazy match. The energy in that match was amazing. Just yelling back and forth, you know what I mean? Easy work. Aaron going, what now? That kind of stuff. Very cool. And man, I'm trying to think, oh shit, man, Riley and Anthony. Whoa, man. I got to talk to Anthony. Hold on, my dog. All right, we're back. Gonna be some serious editing in this pod. You feel me, fam? I don't know what she's barking at, but we got to get a podcast studio in this bitch, huh? All right, let's go to powerslap.com and let's go to the card. This is so good, man. So good. There's a YouTube link. All right, we covered Robert. We got Paige. This is what I was talking about. Okay, so we got KO Chris, right? Sorry for the sound, fam. So we got KO Chris and Chris Debo. Let's talk about it. With the dog barking, I forgot about Anthony and Riley. So Anthony and Riley, look, Anthony, bro, you always bring the energy. Like when we talked before, you showed out with that entrance, like you said you would. You came out, it's the king, your arms are spread, like your energy's real. And I think that's important for the sport. And you took that first slap. Come on. You could just feel it. And then, it didn't go your way this time. But man, heart of a champion, man, heart of a lion. Anyone that can get through that and go to an after party, you know what I mean, and tell everyone that you're okay, you're a savage, dude. You're an animal. Tough loss for sure, but look, I know you'll be back as soon as they'll let you. And crazy match. And then Riley, look, you did it. You did your thing. It had been a minute since we'd seen you. If I remember correctly, you're gonna be on a card previous, but it just didn't work out. But to see you in that moment and to do your thing, bro, like, hey, if you guys don't know Riley, he's putting those fingers to the sky and saying, it's about damn time. That's that man's attitude. But behind the scenes, super cordial, super nice. What a gentleman. Nothing but love. We talked at the after party a little bit, and he's going to come on here as soon as he can. And just a banger of a match. I mean, big KO, but also like big love as well. So yeah, Debo and KO Chris. Okay, so Debo had the little mishap. I see you, brother, with the weight and all that. But I like his decision. I really do. Look, I can either, go one way or I can give up some of my purse and I still get to get up there and prove myself. And I respect that. And that's what he did. He got up there. He wanted to prove himself. And, again, I respect that, dude. I really do. You could have said, oh, shit, and moved on. But no, you got up there and you still wanted to show that you wanted to compete, which is real. And then as far as, KO Chris goes, I mean, have you guys seen the movie Split? Have you seen him crawl across the walls and the ceiling? Yeah, we got a little bit of action going on with Chris. He was a wild man up there. Even the post-fight interview, he just kept walking around and saying shit. He had so much energy to the point where they had to say, okay, over here. Hey, Chris, over here. And, it was cool to see. I had never seen him. Well, I haven't seen a lot of these guys live till this weekend, but he was one of them. Finally got to see him live. And look, Chris, you showed out, man. You did your thing. And you put on a show afterwards. And not only did you put on a show on the stage, crawling around, doing your thing, I was right there. I was like 5 feet back from when you were going at it with Anthony Blackburn, babyface, baby. Like, that was fireworks. That was box office. That was so cool. Just in your face. I want this. I talked to Anthony immediately after. He came walking back out where I was, and he's just like, "Let's get the contracts. Let's fucking go. I'm ready. Sign the contract. Let's go." He was so amped, and to be there and witness that live was nuts. It was so cool. Like, that's what drives any competition, right? To see a potential foe in front of you, and you're butting heads, you're mouthing off, you're doing those things. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you, and just it was a pretty cool thing to see. Man, what else? There's so much going on that weekend. It was so much fun. Let's pull it up, bro. Let's pull it up, fam. What do we got? What do we got? I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. You know what I mean? Let's do this here. Oh, if we go to powerslap 12. I love it. Let's see what we got. Chelsea got up there, did her thing. I don't know about that clubbing call. You know what I mean? But Chelsea did her thing. That was awesome. And then we also had just flipping through this, fam, real quick. Yeah, Montoya, DeFrank, Dios Azul. What's up, baby? I'm flipping through powerslap's stories right now, fam, if you're watching. That's why I'm not looking at the camera. Debo Thomas, we got you. Posy, of course. How can you not like Posy? Man, let's go to, I know they got it. Going through here, latest news. Man, look at all these shots afterwards. It's crazy. Isaiah up against Brandon. Look at this, man. Look at this. Let's do one last thing, because I know I got Chelsea's match. I know I'm missing one, though. Let's see here. Fight. Truthfully, once I turn on that camera and the mic, we're getting used to it. And you have a little brain cloud here and there. And not only is it embarrassing, but it also shows you need to have room for improvement, which is good. Get better and better every single day. Better and better every single day. I love it. Logan showed out against Cody. I mean, come on now. We had Angel and Hunter. Oh, how can I forget Hunter and Angel? Oh, my goodness. Hunter, you showed out, bro. Angel, you got a chin. I know they tried to stop it a little bit at the beginning for those of you that didn't see it, which is good, right? But to gather yourself and go again after that little stop shows professionalism 100% for sure. Great match. Congratulations, Hunter. We got McKinney Manu against Steve Rousey. And man, I just talked to McKinney, and that guy's had a hell of a life. I mean, from pro wrestling to pro football to college football to find your way to power slap. Like, wow. And he had a hell of a shot. I mean, Steve, you're a warrior, boy, and I know you're coming on and we're going to talk about it. But look, credit where credit's due. He stumbled him, and he was all over the stage a little bit, but he did gather himself, which shows the heart of a fighter in Steve. But McKinney, he showed out. It'll be fun to see what happens next. And I am interested to hear Steve's opinion as well, like what was going through his head, things like that. Still talking back and forth, but I think it's coming on Sunday, so we can have him on this next week's podcast and just get his thoughts and feelings about the whole thing. Just looking at the fight list here. Yeah, Chelsea. That was a close one. Love you, fam. Nicole, yeah, she's gonna be coming on, I think, Friday. So tomorrow morning we'll get her opinion. She'll be on the episode next week as well. And I think we got a Cole Smith, Leon Johnson. What's up, fam? Let's see, man. We don't want this. What a crazy night. What a fun night, man. You just never know what's going to go down during these weekends. And to be a part of it was just so cool. So much fun. All right, let's get back to business here. Okay. Fight card was amazing, obviously. And then we have the after party. After party, the first time, you're kind of in the whirlwind, but we were prepared this time. And the first after party, all the wives ended up in the corner, and I was bringing them espresso martinis. I was like, I got you. And this time, that was the plan was similar, and we ended up running out of espresso martinis. Fontaine Blue, stock your bar, bitch, stock it. So I couldn't do the thing. However, the night was still it was, the party still showed out. Saw the Tate brothers, Burt Kreischer, one of my guys. I literally got to talk to him. Shout out to Burt Kreischer and Lan Kreischer. It was so cool to just have that moment. And man, Colby Covington, got to hang with him for a few minutes, talk with him. What a cool guy. Robbie Lawler, I apologize, Robbie. The camera guy that I brought with me asked him some personal questions. Shout out Levi. What's up? I'm gonna kill my dog, fam. I don't know if there's like a stalker in the backyard, but maybe we'll leave this in. Who knows? It's real life. We got nothing to hide. Anyway, Robbie Lawler was way cool. We got to see Taylor Loon again. I think that's his last name. Fuck it, I don't know. But Busting with the Boys, my guy, always so nice, so cool. Gary Brecka, the health guy, the health guy. You guys know Gary Brecka because of the 10X thing and Dana White and, predicting Dana's death, all that shit. He was there with his wife. They were so nice. All the fighters, of course. It's always fun to see him after the fight. Everything's kind of calmed down. You can chill, relax, get some drinks, things like that. I actually took a photo of Hunter and Angel together. Two foes now partying together with their cheeks, just smiling. Couldn't be happier. Man, Mel Gibson. I fucking fist bumped Mel Gibson. Say that 5 times fast. You might not sound so good. What else, man? Who else was there? Yeah, just everybody was there. It was crazy. Theo Vaughn, bro. Theo Vaughn was there. We'll see if, maybe Mikey got to high five her new husband. I don't know. Just playing, fam. Of course, Dana was there. But ultimately, it always comes back, like for me. Oh, Bryce Hall was there. Hey, Bryce, we're gonna interview you. You told me. Like, I have confirmation from your mouth. So it's going down. Your next bare knuckle fight, you're coming on the show, coming on the pod. That was cool. But yeah, at the end of it all, like, the after party's cool to see the celebrities and all that. Let's not lie. Like, that's fun. But you get to see all the strikers just kind of, walls are down. We're all just chilling. We're all just people, and we get to hang and talk, and that's probably the highlight for sure overall. Just get to know them a little bit better, get to encourage them, get to congratulate them, whatever the case may call for. And I love every second of it. So that's pretty much a wrap on what happened during fight week. I know I'm missing names. I know I'm missing experiences, but again, camera comes on. We're getting better each time. But so much fun. Got to go with the fam and the boys, all that. And to everybody that said hello and just hung with us, had a good time. Oh my gosh. Fontainebleau, Poppy Steakhouse. That might be a story for a different time. But for those that were there, hey. You know what I'm talking about. All right. And then the update on the podcast is baby steps, fam. We're getting there. Every month we're getting a little better, a little bit more notice, bigger interviews, broader interviews, and we're going to keep going for it. It's funny. A year ago, I would have never thought I'd utter this sentence. Man, those thumbnails look fire. All right. Thanks, everyone. That's the update. Look for next week's episode. It's going to be huge. We're reacting to all the fights that we can with the actual strikers, watching their fights again, talking through it. It's a good time. So, all right, let's let this bitch upload.